Let me first start by saying that this is clearly not happening. Hey guys, MasakoX here, and as geekdom of most of the Dragon Ball community has already covered, there has been talk about a live-action Dragon Ball movie being showrun by Disney actually maybe occurring, which contains an Asian cast, a big budget, and the backing of the biggest entertainment company on the planet. If you look at that on paper, it sounds fairly decent, right? When they bought Fox, and therefore 20th Century Fox, all they did was just buy the distribution rights. You might see the Disney logo in front of the next Dragon Ball movie from Toei, but it will probably most likely be the 20th Century Fox brand still. Therefore, Disney cannot make a Dragon Ball movie, live action or otherwise, because they don't own it. Unless they throw a big check in Akira Toriyama's direction, and most likely get his approval after the last debacle during Dragon Ball Evolution. You know, when Toriyama's guidance was totally ignored, those executives just wanted to pander to the generic Western demographic. And they failed miserably, especially when the screenwriter then comes out to publicly apologise for not putting the effort into the venture in the script, and is just saying they were just chasing after a check. Well, at least he apologised. So for now, all of this information that is being spread is not true. But what if it was? This is our job here on the MasakoX channel, to breathe life into possible scenarios, what ifs. This is a perfect experiment. Now, I've long joked that once Fox was bought out by Disney, would that therefore make Chi-Chi a Disney princess? I mean, if she were, her younger, tougher visage would be a rather stark and refreshing contrast to the regulars that would normally frequent the Disney princess roster. But let's think about it realistically, given the recent run of live-action Disney movies. Would this fit into their current strategy? These movies tend to exist, when not to make money as well, to update classic stories to the modern age with more sensitive understanding towards culture and, signs of the times, making sure things are more accurate to their origins and their influences. And also, I get the feeling that a lot of people over at Marvel are Dragon Ball fans, so there would be enthusiasm for it, given the nods to it within the likes of Captain Marvel, some of the actors goofing off with great Saiyaman poses, and then of course they talk about Michael B. Jordan requesting that his character's armor resemble Vegeta's, and I bet that Disney would definitely consult creative directors over at Marvel for ideas. Does that mean it would be melded into the MCU? Certainly not. Marvel and the MCU are their own thing, and their roadmap for the next 5 years is already planned out and for us to see. And I bet that their overall idea for the entire arc has been thought about, and throwing this major property into the mix now would really create some headaches and not sit well with audiences that like Marvel, but have either never heard of Dragon Ball before or straight up don't like it. Or even if fans who do like it would just think, that's a little weird. No, it would be its own thing. Now comes the next question. The audience. Dragon Ball is not for kids. Definitely not the original series. And I feel like Disney would want to start from the beginning of the story with the mystical adventure of Goku and Bulma finding Dragon Balls being the subject of the entire movie. Now, in terms of the content, this is where it could fall apart if you weren't careful. Given the subsequent acquisition of Fox and then the scrapping of projects, the House of Mouse is not particularly keen on R-rated projects, save for maybe Deadpool because money. As you know, there is tons of iffy ideas within the first series that make it more aimed at teenagers realistically, and definitely Japanese teenagers. If you tried to bring Dragon Ball wholesale into the Western market to people who had never read it, never seen it, or even understood the context of it, knowing it as an anime, there would be uproar, and you know what I'm talking about. But let's just say that you tried to. Well, first off, you would have to majorly tame Roshi, remove all references to his desires, and instead make the gang earn his Dragon Ball another way. But that means, shock horror, you'd have to change the story. Hopefully not too much, but you definitely would have to consult Toriyama. The gang would have to earn that Dragon Ball, the 3-star one, by gathering the other ones first as like some kind of mythical quest. We've alluded to this idea in our What If Goku Was Found at Capture Corp series, so check out that video for the full details. But by having this overall hook, this would lead the gang back to Kame House for the grand finale, without the need to resort to Oolong wishing for undies at the last minute. It would be a race against time to get back to Roshi. That could work for some kind of, childish hijinks. Yamcha being shy of girls can be kept, and him overcoming it in the movie would be a cool little subplot, character development. Chi-Chi would definitely be in it, given the fact that she could potentially be a Disney princess, but her costume would be massively adapted to be more appropriate and indicative of Asian culture. Disney has to tick the boxes. Would you make this PG or PG-13? I would say PG-13, because that would mean that you could still have all of the action and martial arts intact, but you just need to tone down the other stuff that makes anime what it is in the eyes of many. The current trend for cultural tact is commendable, and a lot of the community who really like Dragon Ball have long commended fan projects which use Asian actors for the cast in their projects. So if the rumors are true and they are using Asian actors for this, then that must be a big win. But again, there's another thing that would stop the entire thing before it even began. Would Toriyama be okay with this massive change, the reduction of jokes that made him so popular in Japan? Would he care? Well, it depends. He would not sit idly by whilst this project was being made. He, as well as his friend and co-worker Kazuhiko Torishima and Shueisha, who owned Dragon Ball outright, would definitely negotiate with Disney to ensure that their voice is heard throughout the entire project, even if it means paying for it. Whatever they would come up with then would definitely be better than Evolution. These are my brief thoughts on the matter. Now I must point out what I did at the top of the video. This project is not happening as of now. Disney does not own Dragon Ball. This was just pure conjecture, as we like to do here. Thank you so much for watching though, and if you are new here, please do take a look at our other content, which takes a more mature and analytical look into Dragon Ball. Let me know what you think about today's topic in the comments, and what you would suggest. Until next time guys, catch you later.